All right, what is good, boys? Welcome to the first day of this branded dropshipping bootcamp. In today's video, we'll be going over winning product I. So I'm basically going to go over product criteria, showing you guys how to find winning products. So the first one we'll also be going over is evergreen products. So these are products you can sell year-round. It's not really a seasonal. It's not tied to something. And then we'll also go Q4 products and then more seasonal products. It could be selling products for like Valentine's Day or just Q4 products in general. And because Q4 is coming up soon, I'll be going over these in depth as well. The first thing we'll go over in the evergreen product criteria is problem solving. So the way I kind of look at problem solving is that people that scroll on IG and Facebook are normally like coming back after work, they're tired, they're not really looking to go shop, they're just looking to chill, scroll on their phone, basically just brain rot. The reason why you guys need such a deep desire or a big pain point or big insecurity in your product is because we got to get them out of brain rot mode, just scrolling on Instagram, scrolling on Facebook, into buyer mode. And the only way you're going to be able to do that is if you hit some deep desire or big pain point that they have. This is a lot different than like going to Amazon or going to Target, because one, the customers are going to Target or they're going to Amazon. They already know that they're going there with the intent to buy something. When they're just scrolling on social media, they have zero intent on buying something. So you really have to speak to the customer and to their pain point or their insecurity if you want them to stop scrolling and actually buy your product. The next criteria you want to be hitting is virality and unique. So some sort of wow factor. So you can't sell a product that people are already used to seeing. Like if somebody was just scrolling and they saw a white t-shirt, everybody's seen a white t-shirt before, and you probably already have your store that you normally go to buy a white t-shirt. Like I was saying, Amazon or Target, places where you're going in there where you know you're going to buy. You need to have something that stands out about your product or some viral or unique factor. So one thing that really stands out, this is a product, it's a little bit of an older product as of right now, but when this product came out, it had such a cool unique factor because you can't buy a bag like this in Target, right? Look at all these pockets it has. Like, look how much stuff you can fit into this one bag. Like, this is a very, like, viral product because it'll really catch your attention, because when you see all this shit laying on the ground and then they somehow pack it all into one suitcase, you're like, oh, that was pretty cool. The next thing I'll go over is visual / explains itself. This is, if you're a beginner in dropshipping, this is probably the number one product criteria you want to have, is that the product explains itself. You kind of have to think about it this way. Like if I was to film a product, right? No sound, no audio, literally just me using the product. Could the customer understand what the product does and what problem it is solving for them? Like an example of a bad visual product would be a product like a supplement. Like if you're sitting there and you're just going to take a supplement, you're not saying anything, you're not describing what the product does, it's going to be really hard to sell that product because the customer doesn't understand how it works and how it's going to benefit their life. Like if you're going to sell a supplement, supplements are more for people who are a little bit more advanced, because that kind of requires script writing and a deeper understanding of your customer. An example of a good visual product would be like a hair clip extension, because you can see it in real time, it getting clipped onto their hair. You can see the visual effect. You can see what it's doing, what problem it's solving for you in real time. Like I said before, visual products are the best products to sell for beginners because they are the easiest to sell, because they literally explain themselves, because the customer can see the problem that the product is solving and how it is working on another person in real time. The next thing we'll go over is good margins, 4 or 5x markup. So this is very important for scale, because as we know, as we scale, CPAs go up, and when CPAs go up, our ROAS will decline, and it costs more to just acquire a customer. So you want to have that margin. How you want to price your product is strictly based off factory pricing. So how you're going to find actual factory pricing is on this website called 1688. But what 1688 is basically just a massive, like, it's a big company, but they are the main manufacturers for the product that is being sold, and that's how you will get the product for the cheapest price. Another way that I would look to see how I'm going to price my product is looking at competition, because if they've been selling the product for like a month or 2 months maybe, they kind of have found out where like the best pricing point is by now. So then you can also look at your competitors to kind of judge pricing as well. The next product criteria I'll go over is in demand. So the thing is, you never want to reinvent the wheel. This is something that I struggled with at the start, is I would always try to find like products that had like 15K total rev on like Data, or just products that weren't even trending or nobody's even tried to run before. And it is really hard to try to find a new product and a completely new consumer or new buyer that would actually want that product. Like a lot of top brands that do end up scaling up are selling products that have already been sold before. So how you can kind of find if it's in demand is you could go on ad library and then see if anybody is running it right now. So normally I look for it to be like 1, 2, maybe 3 total people competing on the product, and making sure that they only launched within the past 2 weeks to a month. The second way I'll go about finding demand for the product is when I look it up on TikTok. What are they saying in the comments? Are people saying, I need this, where to buy? Or are they like making jokes about the product? Or is there something else in the video that made that video go viral? On TikTok especially, you want to be looking that the video blew up because people want the product and they think it's a good product, not because of some other external factor. The next thing we'll be going over is cheap shipping. So you want it to be lightweight and a small product. So most of the products that you're shipping out of China are going to be shipped with Uni Express. And what Uni Express does is they do something called volumetric weight. And what volumetric weight is basically taking how heavy the product is, so like the kg of the product, and then the size of the product. So we want to stay under 3 kg because 3 kg would be like $30 to ship. So it's kind of like $10 per kg, or like it's more like $7. I guess it does kind of depend on the size of your product as well. That's why it's volumetric. But you want to be looking at that and kind of ingraining it in your head, being like, all right, I can get it from this, but to ship, how much is the total cost going to be to ship? And then we can kind of use that for what our markup is going to be. So the last one we'll go over is not saturated. So this kind of ties hand in hand with in demand. So when you're looking for a product to not be saturated, you're kind of looking to make sure that the product hasn't been around since like 2022. Because if the product's been around since 2022, we can use our brains and be like, all right, somebody's probably already tried to test this product before. Maybe somebody's already ran it up before. So really in the not saturated but still demand, we're looking for people who have launched within like the past 3 months. That's my like cap. If somebody's been running this product for more than 3 months, I won't even try to compete. Like if it's 1 to 3 people running it for more than 3 months, not just one person. If it's just one person, you can come in and compete. But if it's like 1 or 3, that product is probably just a little cooked and it just isn't worth your time trying to come in and compete on that product. But now we'll kind of jump into a few products that are already kind of pre-selected, and we'll kind of dive into how they hit all these criteria and why these products were such big winners. So the first one we'll go into is this hair dye product. The first thing we're looking is like, all right, what makes this a problem-solving product? What's the deep desire? What's the big pain point or insecurity? So we'll kind of like look through this website. Right here, it's mostly just showing them. But yeah, all right. So here we have like the before and after. So we have gray hair, looking like older, not looking that good, and then boom, now you have darker hair and your hair is looking a lot better. But besides just the looking better, you really want to dive into like what's their actual deep desire. What do they really want from this? Because obviously everybody wants to just look better, but we really want to find a big pain point and find a target customer. The next thing we'll go into about this product is the viral/unique factor. The one thing that really stands out is like, yes, you've seen hair dye a lot, but this is in a shampoo. So I don't know about you guys, but I've never seen a shampoo before that dyes your hair and is also instant. So people see this and they're like, girls like to change, like this is targeting to both, but if you're targeting this to only to women, women like to change up their looks a lot. So knowing that it's instant, they could be like, all right, yeah, maybe this week I want to see if I would look good with black hair. So maybe they try black hair for a while, then they go to brown hair, and then maybe they go to like red or something. It's very viral and unique because of the instant factor and that it's a shampoo and not just a normal hair dye. The next one is visual and explains itself. That's pretty self-explanatory. You put this in and you have the effect. It is very instant and it's visual. It's a visual change on the person. The next one would be good margins. I mean, you can just kind of tell it. This product would be really cheap to ship. Most beauty products from China are super cheap to ship. So obviously this one would hit that too. In demand, obviously we would go look that up on TikTok and ad library to see if it was cheap to ship. Obviously, yes, we just went over that. And then not saturated, obviously you need to do more research on that. The next one I want to go into is these eyelash clips. So obviously this is a very big problem solving product, because obviously in the morning, like women, like they have to get up and then they have to like glue their eyebrows on, and like it's a huge, like it takes a lot of time, and sometimes like you can burn yourself. Like I see like women who like burn their entire eyelash off trying to like either curl it or put like fake ones on. So that's a pretty big pain point that this is hitting. And also it's hitting a deep desire to obviously be more attractive because it is a beauty product. The next one, viral and unique factor. I mean, if you look at, if I can scroll back, let me scroll back. It comes in this little clip, and I've seen this product before. Literally the only thing the girl has to do is like go right here, click it on, and it's done. So it is like a very viral product because it's like, oh, you can just clip on your eyelashes that easy and it's that quick. I mean, wow, that's a cool product. And then visually, and explains itself. Obviously, they're just clipping it on. Right here, you can kind of see how it works. Very visual, very instant. And then obviously it's a very cheap product, so you'll have good margins. Obviously demand, have to look that up. Cheap shipping, like we said. It's a cheap product from China. It's a beauty product. I think they're running a buy one get one free. So yeah, buy one get one free, especially when you have a really cheap product, is definitely the best offer to run. The next one we'll go into is this pregnancy legging. So as you guys can kind of tell right off the bat, you can already tell like the viral factor is that these leggings stretch out. Because normal leggings, like if you were pregnant and you tried to put on normal leggings, you wouldn't be able to stretch it out over your baby bump. But with this, they can. So it's kind of a unique and viral product. Also, it's a pretty big pain point and a deep desire, because when women are in pregnancy, most of the time they're going to want to be comfortable. They're going to want to wear something comfortable. And then obviously you guys can see it's a very visual product because it's just clothing. Let me see if I have any like GIFs of like a woman putting it on. They don't, but you guys can still see the visual effect, obviously, because it's going over their bump. And then it's clothes from China. Like obviously it's going to be really cheap. You can fold this up and it's not going to take that much room in packaging. So obviously it's going to be very cheap to ship. And then the last one we'll go into, which is what we already kind of touched on, but this Jenny bag is an 8 to 9 figure product. I think they hit 9 figures recently, but this has been a winner for like the past year. The one thing about this product, like when you're trying to look, all right, what would be a deep desire for a girl who would want this product? And then maybe you'd be like, oh, helps you pack more and you don't have to pay for checked bags. And you would be like, all right, that's kind of like an entry level desire. But the real desire you want to look for is women want to pack a lot for vacation, because women are more insecure people. So maybe they try on one of the dresses they packed and it made them look kind of fat or ugly and they didn't like it. So they have more clothes that they can pack, so now they don't have that. Because recently I went on a trip with a bunch of women and we were only there for 4 days and they all brought massive suitcases. And there's no way that they wore everything that was in those suitcases. So like, this is a very problem-solving product because it hits on a deep desire of just having a bag that they can take a bunch of clothes, because obviously you know there's already stuff like big suitcases. And then obviously you guys can see the viral factor in this product. They're literally throwing all this clothes into one bag. And obviously it's very visual because they literally are showing you how to pack the bag. I know majority of these guys' ads are literally just showing a girl pack up her bag with some music over it, and that's it. But now let's go back over here and we'll go kind of over the Q4 product criteria. So in Q4, you're really looking for products that are in demand. And the way you can do this is via Google Trends. So let me just go over to Google Trends real quick. So in Google Trends, like let me think of a product that was doing really good last Q4. Fleece tights. Fleece tights did really good last Q4. So let's do fleece tights. So if you look at this fleece tights over the past 5 years, you can kind of see that every single September, October, right as Q4 is starting, and starts to trend a little bit, and then hits the peak right around, when's it hitting the peak in here? Right around November. So with Q4 products, you don't want to test them here. Like, if you were going to test these fleet types products, I don't know why the fucking won't let me get to the top, but you don't want to test it on the 24th of November because you're already at the top. You want to test it right as it's about to go up so you can build that pixel knowledge and you can gather more data so your pixel knows who exactly to target. And because obviously you guys know Facebook is a bidding platform. So if you have already started running your ads way back here, and by the time you're up here, you've already spent tens of thousands of dollars on ads, you're going to be number one choice in the marketplace because you've spent the most amount of money. So with Q4 products, just make sure you guys are catching it down here. Right now would be kind of a good time to start like looking into Q4 products. I wouldn't say start running them yet unless your product is like, what's today's date? It's the 3rd of August. Unless your product is like starting to trend up, unless your product's like here in August, then maybe. But for the most part, you just want to catch it right when it's about to come up. So just make sure you're keeping that in mind when you're looking for your next Q4 winner. The next way will be TikTok shop content, Calidata, and organic videos. So normally videos will start to like pop up on the For You page on TikTok, like either organic videos or just companies posting. And then Calidata will start to pick them up, and like TikTok shop will start to pick them up. And you'll start to see all these Q4 products start to trend. You can also go back and look like in 2022, 2023, 2024, when did these products start to pick up on Calidata or just on TikTok in general? And then you can kind of judge when are you going to launch and when would be the right time to go after this product. Now kind of going in more of like what we're looking for in the product. So you kind of want to have it solve a seasonal like problem. So heat and comfort are what I see do the best. So like there was this product that went really viral in organic a couple years ago, but it was basically like, if you guys have seen the hoodie before, it's basically like a blanket hoodie, but it was basically like an hoodie almost, but with like a pocket that like you could put like a small dog in. And that product went incredibly viral just because obviously it's warm and comfort, and then it also includes like the pet. That kind of hits another point too. Obviously you don't have to include like 2 points like that product did, but this is just kind of what I see works the best. And then also evoking a strong emotion, so like necklaces or just something that you could like give to like your partner or your mom or your dad, something that evokes a strong emotion. Also another thing is like presents, so like again gifts, so like game sticks, like mini gaming consoles, like basically anything that you can gift or is like a gifting product does really good in Q4. So you guys don't want to overcomplicate it too much, but these are the main product criteria I look for. The products that are going to scale the fastest and are going to be the best are going to have something or a little bit of every single one of these product criterias in some way or another. When you guys get more skilled, you can kind of cut out this factor because then you can kind of make your ads and your marketing are just, you're growing as a dropshipper, so your skills are getting better, so you can start selling products with more scripts that are targeted to your customer instead of just having the product speak for itself. But I'm telling you, every single time I've scaled a product, it has hit all of these in one way or another. But yeah, boys, that will be the end of day one. Hopefully you guys took some notes. Hopefully you guys can go get after it in Calidata or whatever using these product criteria and start putting it to action. If you guys do want me to review, actually let me go into this one thing real quick. So what I do with product research is all just product research, like an hour or 2 hours, and I'll throw any product that kind of catches my attention, or I can just kind of tell off my eye that it hits these criterias. I'll throw it into a Google sheet, and then I'll go to a deeper dive research later. So if you guys want me to like review your sheets or kind of tell you what products you should run or what products you shouldn't, you can just DM me in my free Discord. That'll be the first link in the description. But yeah, I can help you guys out with that if you guys do want it. I recommend it because when I got my first mentor, that's something that he did, and that was probably the best thing ever for me, is having somebody else help me pick my products, and not only just pick my products, tell me why this product is good or why this product is shit. So yeah, take advantage of that. I would personally take advantage of that if I were you. But anyways, that's going to be the end of this video, boys. and I will catch you in day 2.